Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to the channel. It's very nice to have you here. I have something on the table that is new to me. It's probably not new to you guys, and it's certainly not new. This is the limited edition Demko AD10 in full tie and 3V. This happens to be number 82. I have wanted a full custom AD10 for a long time, and unfortunately I just either haven't found one or have been able to afford it, or anyway, there's a lot of ors there. So I have this. I was hunting around on Blade Traders on Facebook and saw somebody that was selling this thing and went, yep, I'll take that. The AD10 has been, since the day I got it, which has got to be 4 or 5 years now. You'll note this is the OG version with the hollow grind. I really wish they were still doing that, but they're not. This has remained. Also, this is a Pops custom clip from Pops Custom Clips on Etsy. I'll put a link in the description. This is, and has been since the day I got it, my one knife. What do I mean by that, wheel? If I had to get rid of all 200 and something other of my pocket knives, if I needed one knife that I could take with me out into the field to go camping, hiking, hunting, that I knew I could rely on, it has been this since the day I got it. This thing has been camping with me for years. It has been my kitchen knife while camping. It has been backpacking. It has been my field utility blade. The titanium version won't replace this one. I just think it's cool. These are excellent. You can still get these just with the flat grind, and I recommend it constantly. They're 130 bucks. You cannot beat it. G10 aluminum. Anyway, it's really good. But let's take a look at this one. This is, Jimmy Slash once said that the AD10 is 90% of a Demko custom for 10% of the cost. And this holds true to that as well. I've held his custom AD10s. I saw one at a couple of blade shows. This feels very much like that, only, no offense to Mr. Demko, a little better. It's a little leaner than the G10 version because there are no liners. It is not milled. It weighs an absolute ton. So let's, I mean, you guys have seen all the specs, but let's go ahead and take a look what you get. You get 3.5 inches of cutting on just under 3 3/4 inches of the 3V steel, which is very cool. Grip area from behind the swell, you're coming in at just shy of 4 inches. These are remarkable knives. Comfortable, reliable. Now, this does still have the original stamped steel clip on it. I will be getting one of these from Pops Custom Clips over there on Etsy as soon as I can, just because it's just better. I prefer deep carry. You don't have to, but I do. The action is very good. It'll drop. You want to be careful when you do that, by the way. So you want to move your finger nice and forward so when it comes down right here, you're catching it on the flat of the blade and not the incredibly sharp 3V steel, right? But it swings shut nicely, opens. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry. There's a known thing for those of us that do this silly thing called reviewing knives, that you can open a knife 1,000 times perfectly off camera, and the minute you're on camera, you'll screw it up. And I did. Anyway, it's got, unlike this one, which has got a G10 backspacer, right? This has got a full tie backspacer, including the lanyard spot. This is just a really nice knife. Now, these are, you know, if you go to the Cold Steel website, they're 400 bucks. They were selling for 300. I think I paid $315 for this. In a world full of, you know, $500, you know, you want to, that was embarrassing. You know, 500 bucks. If you want to get into a hinderer, you know, and add a tie scale to it, you're talking about $500-600 bucks. You know, it's an expensive hobby, but to get what is essentially a Demko custom, this well made for 300 bucks is ridiculous and excellent. I'm going to carry this and use it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys can see my my go-sees are screwed up. I wear tungsten rings, and I'll, reaching into the pocket. Look at that. Anyway, so let's compare the two. Like I said, the OG here is hollow ground. The 3V is not. I'm missing a screw. I'm not over here. That's embarrassing, but that's the way it goes. It is the same pivot, although I don't have a... Yeah, it's the same pivot. The blade looks to be the same, or very similar dimensions. The one thing I did notice is that the plunge comes out a little further. On the 3V model, it's actually angled back towards the handle a little bit. On the S35VN version, it's square. I'm not sure if that's true of all of their new AD10s, as this is an old one, or if that's just something specific to the 3V. I blame Jimmy Slash for my fascination with these things. A million years ago, before I had a channel, Jimmy Slash was very kind to Women Carry Knives and I. He was very thoughtful. He was inviting. He showed us kind of the ropes. And he also got me completely enamored with Demko as just a designer. So wherever he is tonight, or wherever you're watching this, I hope he knows that this is his fault. And I'm okay with that. You can get cheaper knives. You can get more expensive knives. But if you want this, here's what I've learned about the AD10 in general. While there are a million knives out there, and at this point, good God, let's put it this way. 5 years ago, when I started doing this, there was a drop every few months. The big companies dropped once or twice a year. And now there are 20 knives a week landing. It is insane. Some of them are eternal in their excellence. The AD10 is one of those designs. The triad lock, the way that it is fitted to the hand, the way that it is shaped, this is just an excellent pocket knife design. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're wearing shorts or light pants, this in particular, or these are not the knives for that, but and we'll get to the weighing and all the other stuff in a minute. If you're wearing jeans and you're going out into the world, let's say you're going hiking or camping or hunting, and you want a knife that just know, is going to do everything you need it to and be there when you're done, by which I mean you're not going to break it or screw it up, it's these. Period. And that's Demko's design aesthetic. I mean, that's his design. These things are unstoppable. Now, I actually wish very much that the titanium one was in S35 or CPM 20CV or something like that. I'm not a huge fan of 3V. I like it in my fixed blades, but for pocket knives, particularly if you're like I am and you generate a fair amount of body heat and moisture, 3V is not the world's best steel for that because it's not rust and stain resistant at all. Whereas this thing has done everything from been in a lake with me to cutting sausage at the breakfast table, and it has never even, there's no color, right? It's stayed true. You do that with a 3V blade, you're going to mark it up. But that's the way it goes. Let's get the specs out of the way for those of you that don't know. Oh, I did the length and I did the grip. Sorry about that. The knife overall from tip to tail comes in at 8 3/4. And let's take a look at the dimensions this way. You get a really nice chunk of that right back here at the fast. It's almost 4 millimeters, 3.8 millimeters here, right through the center. At its thickest spot, you're talking about 14.2 millimeters, which is a little over a half an inch. By way of example, the G10 is 0.64, right? It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. The blade stock is the same. This weighs a lot. It is, as I said, not milled at all. Let's take a look at what you're putting in your pocket. It is beautiful, though, isn't it? God, this thing is nice. All right. Do your thing. Thank you. 9.1 ounces. Yeah. By way of comparison, the G10 version is 6.7 ounces. Oh my God, I'm so clumsy. Anyway, so yeah, 9.1, 6.7. Yeah, that titanium. So here's the thing, right? This is relatively light for its size. This is not. Man, if you got if you're wearing light pants, this is not the tool for you. I love this thing though. I do. This thing is just awesome. All right, let's get this out of the way. Anyway, these are still available. At least they are on the Cold Steel site. $300 if you can find one is a really good price. But you kind of want this. If you don't want this, get one of these. And if you don't want one of these, get one of the AD10 lights. Those are like $80. They're AUS 10, but it's the same basic function. This is an excellent knife for all purpose. It is an excellent knife for your go bag. It is an excellent knife for camping and carrying. The titanium one is, well, it's this turned up to 11. They come very sharp. You gotta want this. But if you do, and you've been wondering if you should go out and find yourself one, go do it. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is the Demko AD10 full titanium in 3V from the nice folks at Cold Steel. I am a Therapeutic Edge. I very much appreciate you watching. I'll put a link to the Cold Steel site in the description. Remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and we'll see you next time.